This is Remember When with Harvey Deegan.
And we have a very special guest to speak to now. It's Matthew Pavlinovich. Now, Matthew is the chairman of the Midland and Districts Historical Society. And it's great to have you on the show again, Matthew. It's been a little while.
Yeah, good evening, Harvey. Good evening, listeners. Yeah, it's been a while, I think, about a year.
Yeah,
so,
gosh, has it been that long? Yeah. Goodness me.
Yep.
Yeah, you do fabulous work out there in the Midland area, without any doubt at all. And it's a big year, is it not? The 60th anniversary this year, in fact, it was in August, of the Midland Railway Company of WA being taken over by the WA Government Railways, WAGR, or we call them West Rail now, of course, in 1964.
That's correct. Basically, I'll just run through just a brief history of what I refer to as the MR. So in 1879, the West Australian Government Railways, they built the first train line in Western Australia from Geraldton to Northampton. And then they built another line in 1881 from Perth to Guildford. Now, in 1886, an English syndicate of investors, represented by John Waddington, proposed to build a railway line from Helena Vale, which is Midland today, to Geraldton. And the proposal was accepted by the government in 1884. And then the agreement to construct the line was signed in 1886. And the first sod was turned in Midland in March 1886. So that was from that 1886, when the first sod was turned in Helena Vale, which is Midland now. That commenced the construction of the Midland Railway line from Helena Vale to Walkaway. Now, the construction of the line was plagued by continual problems, including financial problems. So construction was halted from 1887 to 1890. And then it got back on its feet again, and the line was completed in November 1894, which opened up the Midlands and Midwest region. So a lot of all those towns from Midland to Walkaway, so your Moras and your Gingins and Carnamars and Minnenews and Dongra, they're all part of this line. In exchange, the WA government gave the company 12,000 acres of freehold land for every mile they built. So the company received a total of 3 million acres of land. So the distance of the line was 276 miles, which works out 446 kilometres. So in August 1964, on the 1st of August, the Midland Railway Company of Western Australia was taken over by the West Australian Government Railways. So we've struggled in Midland because the perception is that we have only had one workshops in Midland, and that workshops, which is called the Midland Railway Workshops today, that was never called the Midland Railway Workshops when it was actually operating in the 90 years. That workshops that we've got today came in 1904, and that was known as the WAGR workshops or the West Rail workshops. But the Midland Railway Company, they were actually in Midland before the government. So they came in 1886, and they had their own workshops where the Centrepoint Shopping Centre is in Midland, if you're familiar with that, Harvey.
Yes.
Opposite the town hall.
That's right.
So we had two railway workshops in Midland from basically from 1904 to 1964. But the perception is, that the Midland Railway Company didn't exist. So we've been working with. We formed a Midland Railway Network back in February 2021 with the idea along the line with community groups and historical societies and museums it was in response to the struggle of attention and recognition for the part of the Midland Railway history. So we're working together now, to obviously promote awareness of the history of the railway company and obviously the role they played in the development of the state. So, and we've been doing some things dating back even till 2020. We were actually presented a model locomotive and an office plaque, which belonged to the last general manager of the Midland Railway Company, John Seymour Dowson. Now, his son, John, donated those to us, to our society, and we've now, they're actually like a travelling exhibit, and they're travelling along the line to the museums and the groups on display along the line to educate people, obviously, about the history of the line. Ourselves in Midland, we've actually, we unveiled the Midland Railway Company commemorative site in February 2022. We moved a piece of rail that was in the way of a development in Midland. We moved it to the side, basically the diagonally opposite where it was. We've moved it now to where the site of the Midland Railway Company workshops were, next to where Centrepoint is today. So we've done our bit, and we've got interpretive signage, and we work with the City of Swan and Development WA to do that. Other groups, they've been, Shire of Midland, they've restored the railway station, and that was completed in 2023. And Mora Historical Society, they're looking at, they've got a locomotive on display up there, and they're looking to renovate it and give it a makeover. So obviously we want to ensure that the history of the Midland Railway Company is recognised, that it's not forgotten. So that's the work we've been doing.
Yeah, you very rarely hear the term Midland Railway Company. You hear WA Government Railways all the time in connection with Midland, as you've mentioned, in particular the workshops. In terms of size, how do the two workshops compare, the WAGR workshops and the Midland Railway Company workshops?
I think there was 160 acres, the WAGR workshops, which is, the workshops we know today was originally around 160 acres, but the Midland Railway Company was quite small. It effectively just took in where the current Centrepoint shopping centre is and where our Midland train station is today. That parcel of land as well on the northern side of the railway line. That was so it was it was very, very small considering the size of the WAGR. They took in the majority of the state, while the MR, they were just concentrating on one line. So that's in terms of sizes. And in the peak, the WAGR workshops, they had 2,000 or 3,000 people working there. Midland Railway Company at the workshops, I think 250 people. So that's and when it was taken over in 1964, most of the workers that transferred over to the WAGR workshops, and they became WAGR staff, and all the rolling stock and the locomotive all became property of the WAGR. So it's a piece of history, and obviously they've contributed to not only Midland getting its name, but they've also contributed to all the towns along there, because without the Midland Railway Company, most of those towns probably wouldn't exist. So,
no, it was the most important development in the state, wasn't it? To open up those particular areas, and I don't think people realise the significance of the two workshops, if you like, but particularly the initiative of the Midland Railway Company, as small comparatively as it was compared to the WAGR one. Matthew, it's really interesting. Now, tell me a little bit about the Historical Society's display and how people can access that, and how they can learn more about the Midland Railway Company, and which, as you've said, has been certainly undersold in the past.
Yes, well, we've the display that we have that's travelling is currently at the Irwin District Historical Society in Dongra, and they have some other, not just the locomotive on display. They have some other items from the Midland Railway Company in their museum. and it's been travelling. It's been to Mora and Gingin, and after it's been to Donga, it's actually going to go to Mininu, and then it will stay up there for a while. So we don't, at the moment, we don't have a museum. So we've got storage, and when we have open days, we have stuff out on display. But yeah, so it's better that it's out, and that it's the word's getting out, that it's, everyone else is getting an opportunity to see it. So, but we're really grateful to the Dowson family who've been really supportive of our society. So for that.
Well, you do a tremendous job there, and you're all volunteers, of course, at the Midland District's Historical Society. Do you need more volunteers? And if so, how can people get on board, to quote, if you like, a railway phrase?
Okay, yeah. They can just contact, I can pass on our email address to the producer, and then they can get in contact to us through that. And also they can find us on Facebook. And if there's anyone out there that has family origins or they actually work for the Midland Railway Company, we'd love to hear from them as well. And if they can share their memories and their insights, because it's all we put all the puzzle together. And the more information that we got, the more we can further recognise the company.
Look, I think you're doing a terrific job, and we do thank you for your time very, very much on Remember When. Matthew, it's always a pleasure. We're not going to leave it for another 12 months, mate, before we have you on the show again, believe me.
No worries,
okay,
that's
mate.
fine.
Take care,
Thank
matey.
you.
See ya.
Thanks.
Well, that's
Bye.
Matthew Pavlinovich. He's the chair of the Midland and Districts Historical Society.